Welcome. My name is Stan Williams. Today we're going to be talking about the Delta style guitar tuning. Tuning is one of the major features that distinguishes the Delta style. Typically we call this an open tuning. The term open tuning simply means that as we strum the open strings as a chord, it produces typically a major triad. Although it can be tuned to a minor triad or even a seventh chord or really just about any other kind of chord that you wish. But for the most part, the major triad is what we normally hear. The most popular keys are E, A, D, and G. And this is not surprising considering that those are the three lowest open strings of the guitar. I have chosen the key of G today because with some very basic alterations to the standard tuning, it's easy to bring it up to the open G tuning. So let's get started on that. Alright, during this segment we're just going to have the head of the guitar visible to the camera so you can see how this tuning process works. Right now I'm tuned to a standard open tuning, so I would need to strum chords to create the tones that I need. In this case I'm going to tune the guitar to the G chord. So our notes are going to be G, B, and D. Our standard tuning on the guitar is E, A, D, G, B, E, from low to high. So we already have several of the tones that we need for the G chord. The B note, for example, string number 2, is already the correct pitch. The G note of string number 3 also is the correct pitch. D note is also the correct pitch. So the only three strings that we have to tune are strings 1, strings 5, and string 6. So we're going to tune string number 1 first up from an E to the G above that E. Is I'm going to find a G note on the second string, which happens to be on fret number 8. And we're going to bring the pitch of string number 1 up to that, and hopefully we're not going to break the string. I have my basic chord. I'm going to tune my string number 5 now to a B note, so it has to go up a whole step. So I'm going to find a B note on string number 3, fret number 4. It's an octave higher, but we can still hear the combination of the pitches to match them up. The last step is to get another G note out of string 6. So I'm going to use the third string again. Third string is already G, and I'm going to tune string number 6 up to that. String number 1, number 3, and number 6 ought to be in octaves now. And we're ready to start using the slide. Our next step is to learn a little bit about the slide. In this case, we're going to be using a metal slide. Looks just like this. Slips onto the tip of your pinky finger. Can go on your third finger. Depends on your preference. The way the slide works is to lay it flat across the strings and to slide it up and down. So we have an open G chord to begin with. So if I want to have a C chord, I'm going to move to fret number 5. If I want a D chord, I'll be moving to fret 7. Okay, let's shift over to the right hand now. Delta style uses something called frailing, which is something that banjo players use a lot. And what that means is that it's going to use the thumb to play the bass note, and it's going to use these two fingers to play whatever notes, including strumming. So we have to have some kind of a bass line, and then these two index fingers and my middle finger are going to be plucking on strings 1 and 2, or 2 and 3, or perhaps even 3, 4, or 5. So we put a combination of these things together. bit of frailing there. If we add the slide into it, we begin to hopefully create a little bit of music.